Having trouble in your love life? I have the answers. It's called Secrets of Birthdays, the Love and Lust Report. The biggest problem usually is people choose the wrong person. Not anymore. Find out your birthday secrets available online at secretsofbirthdays.com.
Soul Garden.
Hello Virgos and welcome back to Soul Horoscopes Weekly Edition. I'm your host to the universe, Christopher Witecki. And due to viewer requests, we're mixing it up here in Soul Horoscopes. We're now moving commercials outside the show. You'll have a couple before the show and you'll have one in the middle. But people say they don't like hearing while they're getting their prediction, so we're going to mix it up just for you. And come on down to soulgarden.me. There's no place like Soul Garden. Jenny Watson, our village chief, is writing up a storm for the Virgos, talking about the magic 8 ball and what that means for Virgos. You'll have to watch and see what she's talking about. But we have a whole support group of souls and a lot of soul services for you. Come on down and make a profile today so we can at least email you. Now, the Virgos this month are making some quantum shifts. Everyone is. But with you, maybe perhaps the largest, although people won't quite see for a few months. What am I talking about? Well, boundary changes. This month, the Virgo race is working on a new way of trusting, a whole new perspective. That might be based on your, maybe you're not chasing after a broken heart anymore, an old broken heart. Maybe your trust now will be based on yourself. It's something different, but it is going to change everything. And as we begin on Monday, it's time to put into action these new trust issues or these new boundaries. Time to enforce. Mars rules the day. And with Mars ruling the day and on the area of trust and boundaries, you might be randy, you might be irritable, you might have anxiety. Put a lot of fire energy on a boundary. It depends on where you stand as far as how that will feel. Plus, Mars is direct in Virgo as of this weekend. So your ego is amped up on Mars and you're boundary sensitive. However, you do want to enforce or step forward in your new boundary trust issues as of Monday. Now, the moon is in Pisces, so your emotions are fixed on relationships, LTRs, long-term relationships, and the moon will cross over Chiron, which will be an invitation to heal from an old relationship wound. So by stepping into the new boundaries, you probably are stepping out of some pain. And this red line is a square between Venus and Gemini down to Chiron, which means as you're beginning to create a new direction for your career and legacy, all right, you are at the same time having to step out of fear of relationships. So going forward in career might mean some sort of different relationship approach. Any kind of fear like that is coming up on Monday as well. On Tuesday, we hold space. There is no ruling planet. The sun is ruler of itself. It's time to hold space. It's time to just broadcast your light out in the world. And in your case, you're walking with the new trust issues in place. You're walking with the new boundaries in place. So you are walking your path, and that's what you want to do. Just walk your talk, walk your path, hold space. You are holding space for the boundaries. People might challenge your boundaries, or they may not. We'll talk about that another day. The moon is still in Pisces, so you might be playing this all out with a relationship as far as boundaries are concerned. And this square is worth bringing up one more time, which is as you dynamically are willing to tap dance and tread water with boundaries and trust based on the moment, you shake away from old broken hearts. You shake away from the old poor me, I don't get what my heart wants, and you step into your true dreams moving forward. And because you may not have ever seen the possibility of them really happening, you might actually be afraid of your true dreams happening. So that kind of fear will be coming up particularly on Tuesday. I'll be texting you for that as well. On Wednesday, the devil does tempt us back. This is a day of the trusted, tested degree, 29 degree, the final degree of Sun in Aries. That means your boundaries will likely be tested by the universe or by you. Now, what's tested are emotions. The moon moves out of the house of relationships and crosses Mercury and Uranus here in chapter 1 of Aries, which means you are finally feeling this trust and boundary issue. You're finally feeling this transit. Literally, the moon has gone around the clock and caught up to your life, and that's what this week is about, is our emotions catching up to our reality. In this case, they're catching up to new trust boundary issue, and this is a chapter 1 issue, so you are feeling vulnerable. Now, like I said, Mars is direct, which adds a lot of aggressive energy, makes your ego on the other side really amped up. You're ready for war. Will you go too far? Probably not, because Mars is opposing Neptune. So just listen to your intuition, especially if your ego is amping up to deal with a relationship issue. Just listen to your intuition. Your intuition will keep your ego in check if you listen to it, says the opposition. So oppositions can be good. Then Thursday, the sun moves to 0 degrees Taurus. You know what I like to say? 0 means 0. That means we're in the no man's land between two states of awareness. In your case, shifting out of your whole boundary and trust issues and into your life's purpose. In other words, your belief structure, an entire part of our soul, which is what we believe, which is accumulation of our education, our travels, our exposure to new information, and it turns into our life purpose and the reason why we point our ship in any one direction. It's always based on what we believe. But you may or may not know your beliefs are completely plastic. You can write them and they will run. The universe will run with any belief you put in there. All you need is supporting belief. Well, when it comes to beliefs, this is where Virgos will have the most quantum growth in the next 90 days. In the Act 2 videos, I get very deep on this one because this is going to separate or will separate the successful Virgos from the not so successful Virgos. That is, those who are willing to educate themselves in this last hour of Virgo 2.0 and their new self-esteem. So if you continue to have an open mind, you're going to get paid, says Jupiter. All right? Now, on this day of Thursday, things are spaced out, things are cloudy, emotions are still in Aries, and so your emotions are still focused on can you trust or can you not trust, even though your soul is starting to move ahead onto new adventure. By the way, craving adventure or craving to travel are both little symptoms of a belief structure ready to pop. Now, when we come back after this next commercial, I will have your Friday dance and your weekend forecast, so keep streaming. I'll see you in just in a minute. Welcome back, Virgo, and thank you for logging in. Well, now we're on to Friday. Thank goodness it's Friday, and a great Friday. I think we're going to feel fabulous. All 12 signs are feeling fabulous. That's because we are feeling Taurus vibration, and we're feeling Jupiter, which is the king partier of the solar system. Wherever Jupiter is, that's where the party is happening. So we are feeling the party, but the big present is this, a soul pyramid in Earth, which is a grand trine in classic astrology. This lineup means very rapid, accelerated growth in our life. We had one earlier with Jupiter when it was here not too long ago, but now your entire life, your soul capital, your capital awareness is what I'm trying to say. Your capital awareness, your entire life has now moved and caught up with this whole shift. So what this means is your self-esteem and your new belief structure pour into the new Virgo 2.0, which pushes forward and moves dreams forward. That's what Pluto represents. This is you stepping into new belief, which opens up your ego, which moves your personal dreams forward. It's a very exciting transit, and it will be going on until mid-May. That's because Mercury will now take its place after the Sun, so the universe is just basically rapid growing your life. But it all comes from the epicenter of your belief structure. All right, so belief structure is super important. Now, moving on to Saturday is right away is Light Cast Day, the most powerful day of the month to manifest our intentions. That's because the emotions catch up with us. So now our moon has caught up with us. Our emotions and our awareness are one. What does that create? Passion. What does passion create? Fire and law of attraction. This is how you manifest, by putting passion into what you believe, in your case, Virgo. What you believe, being passionate about your beliefs, being passionate about what you want to learn, being passionate about the adventures you want to have, but because behind an adventure is an education, is expansion of belief structure, and every time you expand your beliefs, you increase the potency of your life's purpose, more meaning to be alive. So it's a very powerful spiritual transit if you go with the flow. On Sunday, it is Jupiter Fest. That is because the moon will now cross over Jupiter after light casting and putting out your passion of what you want to have happen. Now the moon, our emotions, takes a dose of Jupiter, which means boom, it is a trip to infinite possibilities. And that's what Jupiter feels like, especially when it's not held back. So emotions run with what would this mean if I could travel, and what would this mean if I went to college, and what would that mean? And it's really a day of just being very optimistic. Do not get caught up with how the earth is going to make it happen. That's what this grand trine is about. This grand trine will make it happen, okay? Your job is to dream, especially on Sunday. So it's a good time to be alive, eh? All right, Virgo, that's all I have for your 7-day forecast. But you know, I will be back in 7 more. And until then, live, love, be.